everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here today, and we are starting our journey with the Disney Rolodex cards. Remember that last week we were talking about this? Well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to all of you beautiful and lovely ladies who voted for the first princess for me to start working with. So I want to say thank you so much to Susan Crozier. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing well your last name, ladies, but I have trouble with those all the time. So thank you, Susan Crozier, Beth Kelbeck, Gailia Gillian, Gina E, Charlene M, and of course my beautiful friend Dorothy. And yes, I had 4 votes for Belle and 1 for Cinderella, so I started with Belle, and Cinderella is gonna come next. But I created 5 different Rolodex cards, so they're gonna start after the A divider over here in my tray, and I'm gonna explain everything that I did with each of the cards. Okay, so let's get started. So as I said, just as a quick reminder, remember that Rolodex cards are 4 inches wide by 4 inches wide by 2 1/4 tall. Okay, so I created 5 different cards, and this is the first one. Look at this, super cute. And yes, I used the cartridge from Cricut, but let me tell you something, that since the images are quite small, I am having trouble with tiny parts as the mouth and the eyes, so I had to use my paints to create those pieces because it was impossible to take them out of the mat when cutting pieces like this size. Okay, so I am gonna show you that I use, in case you have this cartridge and you wanna use it or link it to your new machine. This is the image that I used. It's in the Dreams Come True Disney cartridge in the page 45, and this is I'm sorry, no, it's in page 46. This is the image that I use for Belle. Okay, and as you can see, it's what she has different, it's the mouth and the eyes, but I really love her. So I use some gold glitter paint on top of her dress, and I cut her in white cardstock so I could use my alcohol markers to color her. And for the cheek, I used my chalk pastel. And the background, since this story is happening in France, I decided to use one of my stamp sets, this one over here, French stamps. Okay, so I used almost all of them in different positions with Memento brown ink to create the background. And if you see, in all the edges I use my distress ink. And then I used these alphabet stickers that I had on my stash, and I created Belle's name and used a piece of red cardstock, and then with my white gel pen I went around with the dashed line, and I think she looks super adorable. And as you can see, because we don't have like too much space in these little cards, actually there is not too much to do with them, but I think this one is super adorable. Okay, so that is my first card. And then I created this other one. Okay, and again I used my cartridge, and let me show you the page for that one, because my favorite prince is the Beast. There is something about him that it is super beautiful, and I love it. So for this image I use this one on page 56, and I am using just the shadow or base icon, and I think it looks super adorable. And I used black cardstock for this image, but for my background I use my watercolor paints, and I use red and green because remember he had a rose in his palace, so that's why I use these colors. This Together Forever is a sticker that I've had on my stash for a very long time, and then the border is created using my acrylic marker, and this is a gold paint marker. Let me show it to you. This is a Deco Color premium marker, and you can find this on Amazon, and it is super beautiful. And even though it is like kind of skinny, it has tons of paint. I love that marker. So this is my second card, and look at them dancing. I love that. Okay, and then for my third card, I created this one, and I use my distress ink to go on top of my whole card. I used antique linen, and then I used this old Stampin' Up! Stamp that has this text. Okay, and I use the same ink to stamp all over the card, and then I use my black gel pen to create the border and go around the quote over here. And this is a quote from the movie, and it says, "Take it with you, so you'll always have a way to look back and remember me." This is something that the Beast said to Belle when he was giving her the mirror, and that's why I have the mirror over here. And for this, I cut like the frame of the mirror 3 times, and then the back part just once. And I use my alcohol marker. This is a very light gray for this, for the actual mirror. And then the frame is colored again with my gold marker, and I think it looks super adorable. And then this beautiful rose that you see over here, I cut the green part 2 times in white cardstock, and then I use my alcohol markers to color it. And the same thing with the rose. This was cut 3 times, and I just glue 1 layer on top of the other. And if you see, it looks kind of thick, and of course I had to use some foam tape under the flower, the petals, to give some dimension and texture to this. And I think it looks super adorable. And so the mirror comes from the cartridge again, this one over here, and that is in page 45. And the rose, that is just from the Cricut Design Space that I found it, and I really love this rose, and that's why I use it. And this is my third card. Super adorable. I am so thrilled to be creating these cards, and I can't wait for my tray to be full of all the images. Then I created this other one because, of course, I'm a tea lover. I do drink coffee sometimes, but I prefer tea. And since these images on my cartridge, because they had to be like a really tiny, it wasn't working for me, and I really wanted to include them in the Beauty and the Beast story here in my tray. So I decided to give it a try with my hand drawing, and this is what I created. Of course, Mrs. Potts and Chip, and if you see, he has something different. I hope that you can tell before I tell you. Can you guess now? Okay, what happens with Chip is that he has the missing part in the left side, and I created it in the right side because of the way he is looking at his mom. I decided to change it because it wasn't working for me. You wouldn't be able to look at the crack in this side. So yeah, that is a little bit different, but I'm okay with it. I love it. And I used my Arteza color pencils to color them, and I think they look just adorable. Even though they are white, I decided to leave my background in the card color because there is something about them that they just look amazing in that little card. So that is my 4th card, and I love it. Okay, and my last card for this story, it's very simple yet really meaningful and beautiful, and I decided to use my Posca markers to create Belle's dress and the Beast jacket. So super cute. And for the details, if you see all the shine over here, I use my glitter glue, and then again my gold marker over here for the border and the buttons in the jacket. Okay, I think this is super cute and super pretty, and as a part of the collection for my 5 cards, because that's what I'm gonna be creating for each princess, I think it's super cute. That is my gold seal in this story. So these are all my cards, and I'm pretty happy with them, and I hope that you like them too, because believe it or not, even though they are tiny cards, you need to really think. And as I told you the other day, I make my ideas fit into the size of the card. So sometimes, it's hard, but I did it. So this is my first princess for my tray. And then I'm going to be working with Cinderella because she was voted too. And that's it. That is my share for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Also, if you want to share with your friends, I will appreciate that very much. And as always, please take care of yourself. Remember to always smile, and I will be seeing you next week for more Disney Rolodex cards. Bye!